Welcome back to Advocacy in Motion. For those of you who have seen the show in the past, you know that we are about giving a vision and a voice to nonprofit organizations and individuals making an impact in our community. And normally at this time, I'll say a few words about Niagara, our presenting sponsor, as you see by our signs behind us, and we're really thankful for them to be here. But since one of my guests today is the Vice President of Niagara, Jenni Steele, I'm going to let her tell you about Niagara and what they are doing, and because she knows far more about it than I do. So welcome, Jenni, and I'm glad you're here.
Thanks,
glad you joined us.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be here too. Also very excited to sponsor Advocacy in Motion. I know the impact that you guys are trying to make and building it up, and we're just excited to support that. Niagara is a company that's built, it was a family-run company. It's been around almost 50 years now. And it was started with water savings and trying to figure out in drought cities and municipalities where they needed to save water, what we could do with bathroom fixtures specifically in order to help do that. So we created a product that is one of the most efficient flushed toilets that 0.8 gallons per flush instead of 1.6, which is industry standard. And since then, we've been running this through in primarily multifamily units, affordable housing. We work through a wholesale distribution channel across the country. So anywhere you're looking to get a quality product, a toilet, we've got our patented Sterile technology. And that's one thing that brings us together across the country is saving that water and with the conservation at play.
That's wonderful. And what we're going to talk a lot about today are relationships. And I know you've built a relationship with our next guest. Angela King is the president of Volunteers of America of Texas. Welcome, Angela. I'm glad to have you here.
Glad to be here.
And tell us about, I go back about 10 years with Volunteers of America, and I've enjoyed every minute of it, of working with all the great people there. So tell us about Volunteers of America and what you guys are doing.
Well, if you've been involved with us for 10 years, that's about 8% of our history. We're a 125-year-old social service organization. We were founded by the son and daughter-in-law of the founder of the Salvation Army. So we've had a long, rich history in social services all across the country, and we've been here in Texas for over 100 years. We provide a multitude of social supports, so just about anything you can think of. The in-human services we are doing or have done in our 30 affiliates across the country. Here in Texas, we're one of the larger affiliates, certainly geographically. We serve the entire state of Texas, and we have an affordable housing program in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We do a lot of different things, but let me try to concentrate on a few. We serve people with intellectual disabilities. We've done that for decades. The same people for decades, from early childhood to sometimes to the end of their life. We do substance abuse treatment. We're one of the beginning groups in reentry. Our founder was the first woman allowed into the prison system, and we have stayed true to her vision of helping folks come from prison systems back to their communities and make a successful transition. So we do a lot of those services. But recently we found ourselves increasingly involved in two areas of service. One is getting folks back to work, doing employment and vocational training and education for folks who have barriers to entering the workforce at the level that supports themselves and their families. So providing really meaningful certifications and helping folks overcome the barriers they have to employment. The other thing that we have been expert in for decades and are really beginning to build on, particularly here in the urban areas in Texas, is affordable housing. You know, Texas has always prided ourselves on cheap real estate. Well, apparently we have lost that edge in the last few years, and so we see ourselves more and more entering the affordable housing market. We manage 1,700 units, apartment units across the state that are affordable for seniors and people with disabilities and working families. And we are beginning to expand on that base in several areas around the state.
That's wonderful. And I know, Jenni, you guys have been working together and helping out in the affordable housing. And normally when I open the show, I talk about saving up to 60% of water, which is 60% of cost. And that is how you guys are helping out with affordable housing. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you're working together with
Sure.
Volunteers of America?
Yeah, so this is actually a passion of mine specifically. One of my favorite customer types that we work with is affordable housing. When we work with them, we get to see that dollar go further. A lot of times they're owned by nonprofits and they're trying to make the best for the community and the lives in those apartment complexes. So we work with a program that allows you to take our 0.8 gallon per flush toilets and pair them with water saving shower heads and aerators within each unit, and you can drastically reduce the utility bills. And in affordable housing, 9 times out of 10, those utility bills are covered by the nonprofit that owns those properties. So if there's money going towards utilities, it's not going to build that community and build that sense of independence for the people that are staying there. So we were fortunate enough to meet Volunteers of America this last year and really understand what their mission is. And we realized how closely it aligned with our mission too. And so it's been really, really cool to work with Angela on some projects that are coming up and look at the rest of the country and see what other affordable housing opportunities there are that we can make that dollar stretch for them.
It is a wonderful relationship that's growing. I know you guys are talking about quite a few things and going forward. Angela, can you tell us a little bit more about the affordable housing projects that you guys are doing?
Yeah, we tend to do things, we're doing two kinds of things. One is, of those 1,700 units that I just talked about, we refurbish them. Just like you would rehab your house after 15, 20 years in your home, we go in and rehab our apartments. And unlike a lot of developers, we're committed to keeping those affordable. So we refinance them with the purpose of not raising the rents for the people who've lived there often for decades, but yet bringing them up to speed, doing new things, putting in new roofs, new lighting in the parking lots, new countertops, often new plumbing. So our two senior projects that are being refurbished here in the Metroplex in the Dallas area, one in Burleson and one in Garland, we are partnering with Niagara. It will save us money on the entry in terms of the costs for fixtures and plumbing, but more importantly, like you say, it saves us money for the next 20 years that then helps sustain the affordability of that project. So we're really excited about that in our rehabs. And then we're also doing new construction. We have a new 256-unit complex for seniors coming up in Oak Cliff, and it's also going to have a health clinic on site there. It's a lovely property called the Oaks, and we actually did a change order to put Niagara fixtures in that property because even with the expense of doing the change order, the fixtures were still cheaper, and over time, again, will save us more money on the efficiency side. Also, to contribute to what we all know is the need to save our climates, to address the issues that we're seeing as we try to conserve our Earth's resources. So we're happy to have the opportunity not only to serve the people that we serve, but to also give back to our community in conservation efforts.
Absolutely. It was a very, very exciting opportunity to be able to be part of the Oaks too. That was one of our first earlier projects, and just to be able to see the water savings and how far that's going to stretch. And then you guys being so willing to help us with that change order and get that going so that we can really make it true was it was a success. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I know you mentioned the environment and the water savings throughout. I know your boss, Carl, has mentioned that quite a bit. I know it's a real thing with Niagara of water conservation throughout. And as we've seen this past year, just the ups and downs of drought and flooding and back and forth. And I know I've gotten to know you guys quite a bit over this past year and working together, that is a true basis for what you guys are doing. I think you to be commended on that as well.
Thank you. It is. It's a passion. Like I said, we're a family-owned company, and it started at the very beginning with water conservation, and it continues to drive through. We make a lot of decisions when we roll out new products on what we're going to do and why we're doing them. A good example of that is about a year and a half ago, we decided that we were going to start selling through our wholesale distribution channels so that we could offer something nationwide across the country to anybody that needed it, specifically in the plumbing, new construction, and refurbishing as well. And one of the things that we wanted to make sure is that all of our products were water savings. So we ensured that we would use no more than 1.28 gallons per flush, which is WaterSense certified. And then our key leader is our Stealth technology at 0.8 gallons per flush. Those are the ones that we use a lot with affordable housing. They have the power that you need in order to work in multifamily. They have the performance, and they pass all the certifications. And they work really well in that healthcare industry. They work well in affordable housing units, multifamily, and they allow you to cut that water bill by 50, 60% most times.
Oh, I know that money's going back where it can be used more. I'm going to take a little break here and talk about one of our other sponsors. It's pretty close to my heart. It happens to be my daughter and her mother own Piranha Haven, spiritual gift shop in downtown Richardson. But when we come back, I'll talk a little bit about how the relationship with the LPGA has grown and why that's important to everybody. But Piranha Haven, Piranha is Sanskrit for life force or energy. And when you walk in, what you'll find there, you'll find a great collection of handmade art, local artists, merchandise from free trade villages, sage, incense, crystals. I've never seen so many crystals in my life. But you can go on their website, piranhahaven.com, and see a lineup of the psychic readers that come through there. Well, you can book online. And they also have a psychic fair the fourth Saturday of every month. So check them out, piranhahaven.com. And if you go in, if you see Alex, tell her Dad said hi. So, and we appreciate their support as well to help us go further with our nonprofit groups. LPGA, we have a guest here in the studio, Kathy O'Neill, is a good friend of ours. About 10 years or so ago, she invited me to a meeting of some people that were forming the very first LPGA golf tournament here in North Texas. And we've all grown with that. I know, Jenny, we go back to that day as well when Cadillac came in as a sponsor. That's when we were introduced to Volunteers of America. And over the years, it's just grown and grown and grown. And where Volunteers of America became title sponsor. And now it's the Accenture LPGA benefiting Volunteers of America. And it's just been a terrific relationship. Mike King, the president of VOA, has told me many times that he just relishes the relationship with the LPGA because it's such a powerful voice and it stands for all the right things. And I know bringing Niagara into the group this past year, you guys were a major sponsor, and that has grown. So tell us a little bit about your relationship with the LPGA through volunteers.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tommy, I mean, like you said, we go way back. We're not going to say how many years back because that's going to date us both, but we go way back. And, you know, I remember you bringing this opportunity to me and talking to me about VOA and what they contribute and how they work and told me about the sponsorship with LPGA. And I remember thinking through, how does golf, how does that benefit? What are we doing, you know? And so to be able to go and experience that through our sponsorship that first year, I mean, it changed my mindset and made me see what amazing impacts the LPGA makes, what amazing impacts VOA has done to contribute, and what they've done back for each other. So, you know, being able to get that taste of VOA and who all of the individuals that work with that organization are while sitting in the hospitality suite and meeting everyone and seeing the hard work with every single volunteer it changed perspective completely. And I haven't met a better group of individuals that work together towards a common mission. And that really showed me, that relationship did. So we're excited about the years to come. We've pledged to help support VOA through future LPGA tournaments, and we're excited for this year. Hopefully I'll play a little better in the Pro-Am, maybe get a ball off a tee, but
I have video of that as well, if you'd like me to show that on the show sometime.
Yeah, let's not. Yeah, let's not. Now, the video makes it look like I did a darn good job. I really got the swing down, but what happened afterwards was silence from the audience.
Yeah. Of course, you were playing right behind Lexi Thompson, so
that doesn't help.
That
does not help. So hopefully they were still watching her go to that unbelievable shot that she hit on the first hole. So.
That's true. In fact, she goes back to the very first meeting. She was with my daughter Alex. They worked together on the girls' golf pavilion. So that's how far we go back with that.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And about your relationship with LPGA.
Well, you know, Mike and I share the same last name, but we're not related. But when he first became the national CEO, he told me he had a vision to do an LPGA tournament in Texas, and he really wanted the trophy to be named after Kathy Whitworth. And I said, "Oh, I got a deal for you, because Kathy Whitworth is a personal friend of mine." And so I made that introduction, and then after a while, they were able to pull off getting that LPGA tournament here, and naming that trophy after Kathy, having her present it, and very sad to say that she passed away very unexpectedly this Christmas, but we'll certainly be honoring her in the tournament to come this year. But it's just been a wonderful opportunity for us to have a venue that we have the opportunity to advertise the work we do around the country. And it's been amazing to me as I've traveled to different places. I was at Cornell at a university setting, and the professor said, "Oh, my husband and I know all about Volunteers of America because we watch the Golf Channel and we see your ads all the time," which was the whole idea,
Right.
was to get our brand and our what we do more recognized. And so it's been a great opportunity, as well as meeting sponsors like Niagara, and as you said, sitting in the hospitality suite. You know, we do an evening here with the Korean business community, honoring so many folks who participate in the LPGA who are Korean. So it's really been an opportunity to raise all the boats, if you will, not only from our sense of nonprofit recognition, but also community spirit and donor relationships. So it's been wonderful.
It's really neat to see firsthand. I mean, being the new kid on the block with this sponsorship, being able to see how interactive the team is too with Volunteers of America. I talked to people from all over the country that came to be part of this and to volunteer, and they weren't just sitting around. This wasn't just it's a nice volunteer work. They were sweating and they were putting in hard work, and it was really amazing. And there's a couple of them that had to keep me quiet in that hospitality suite a couple times, because when somebody comes up to putt, you can't talk too loud. But these guys were in the heat, and they were really doing a great job advocating for VOA.
Yeah, it definitely takes a village. And, Jack Matthews, who's been a participant and owner of the golf course there, also works with us on affordable housing. You know, he's has a passion to put affordable housing as part of his development efforts. So it's really just been a great synergy of partnerships and relationships from folks who don't normally come together, but are all trying to contribute to the common good.
Absolutely.
It's just a wonderful environment, and we're talking about bringing Jack in and the relationships they're building. And I fully believe that building mutually beneficial relationships, whether it's social, personal, business, is the key to success. Mm-hmm. And I'm very pleased to watch this relationship grow between Niagara and Volunteers of America. And it's very rewarding because so many people are going to benefit from it, from the work that Volunteers of America does. And Niagara, too. I get a chance to thank Jenni and Niagara for being our sponsor, because it allows us to reach out to more nonprofit organizations. And this coming months or so, we've got some great guests coming in. We've got former Cowboy George Teague and his Best Buddies program for children with disabilities. Texas Scottish Rite Hospital will be here. We have the New Hope Therapeutic Equestrian Center. So through your sponsorship, through Piranha Haven, and the help we've got is allowing us to continue, and we appreciate that and appreciate what you guys are doing. Jenni, tell us what's coming up in this coming year for Niagara. Anything new? Anything you want to talk about? Anything we can look for?
This is the year of growth for us. We are 100% full on working towards new products, new opportunities, trying to get into some different categories. This year, we're going to one of the biggest kitchen and bath shows called KBIS, and we're launching a higher end luxury one-piece toilet. It flushes at 0.8 gallons per flush, and it's our Phantom one-piece. It's great for any higher end showroom It's got it's called a concealed trapway, so it's easy to clean. It's ADA compliant, so you can get that height that you need in affordable housing without it looking like a just run-of-the-mill toilet. So we're excited to announce that out. It's going to be for all of our customer types, but we're also happy to put something that has a great design and quality of design to it, so somebody can really look at their bathroom, whether they're in affordable housing or they're in a condo or they're in their own residential home, and it's going to look good and it's going to go with the rest of their decor.
Very good. And Angela, what's new for Volunteers of America? What can we look forward to?
You know, I'm still trying to think about new toilets. Boy, that's something. That's something that is kind of exciting, isn't it? Because that's not something we've tackled to make many improvements on in recent years.
I never thought that I'd be in this. Yes, and
we've gone from Cadillacs to the Cadillac of toilets. I guess
that's right.
Well, we're really looking at more affordable housing development, and we have a project that we're looking at in Houston. We have a couple of folks that we're talking to in the Dallas area with some land that we've identified. And in Austin, we have started to work with Integral Care, which used to be what we talked about, the MHMR centers, on managing some of their properties for folks with significant mental health issues as they move into affordable housing locations. So we have a lot going on. I was telling Jenny I'm going to Houston today because we're launching a new program for work training, thanks to the city of Houston's funding for people to. We hope to touch about 200 folks a year to train them in sustainable employment. So it's always exciting, and it's really kind of affirming to me to see. I pick up the paper and I read about the need for affordable housing. I pick up the paper and I realize people are needing and talking about getting jobs in today's market, and to be part of that solution through the work that I've done for decades at Volunteers of America, at VOA, put VOA's name on more buildings that serve people in our communities is really exciting to me. And so I think it's going to be a great year in 2023, and I'm looking forward to it.
I'm sure you have a website or some way people can contact you to help or ask questions or learn more. How do they do
it's
that?
VOATX, VOA Texas, voatx.org. And you can. Our website is pretty inclusive of all our housing locations across the state, as well as information about the other services that we operate. It can tell you how to volunteer, how to donate, how to participate, how to get services if you need to move into an apartment complex. We're now taking applications for the Oaks, or maybe your mother or some senior in your community is interested. The age is 55 and older, and you don't have to be low income. There are some market rate apartments, and they are very nice. We've already pre-leased a few of those. So it's a mixed-use facility, and I think anybody would be proud to live there. So you can go to voatx.org and get information on all of our services.
Okay, and Jenny, anyway, I know you guys have a website.
Absolutely. So it's www.niagaracorp.com, and that's where you can get the latest information on our product offerings, where you can buy them, locate a dealer or distributor close to you, and see what we've got going on. We also have a lot of different events and things like that planned and what's in store for VOA. So if you follow our Facebook page, you'll be able to see what we're doing with the community as well.
Oh, that's great. And if anybody wants to know more about our show here or our sponsors, our past shows, I'm Thomas at tjadvocacy.com. Just email me with your questions. If you have a charity or an organization or somebody that's near and dear to your heart and you want us to reach out to them, please let me know about it. We're going to be here, and we're thanking Niagara for helping us move forward in the coming months. I'm going to stay as a sponsor in Piranha Haven. So we're looking to see how far we can reach and see what we can do. So I want to thank both of you for stopping by.
Thank you.
It's been wonderful, and we're going to be working together for the rest of the year. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So thank you.